Bonjour Pengies, and welcome to Pat Peng's Cast, the show that dives you into the world as I see it. The show that I started 2 weeks ago already on January 11. I'm Patrick, your host, and today we're talking department stores in Paris. Because we are on sale. Well, the stores are. The winter sales. And we have a guest today. He's brilliant on the topic, so you'll know all about what he has to say and I have to say in just a second. Stay tuned. First of all, before we start talking department stores, which is our topic of today, I wanted to thank you all guys for supporting the launch of my podcast 2 weeks ago on January 11. A lot of you came to me with what they thought, with their feedbacks, and I love that. 20 minutes to discuss districts in Paris is such a short time. So I picked what I thought was the most relevant in my eyes, and Louis did the same. He also picked what he thought the most relevant in his eyes, and where we personally go and what we do on an everyday basis within the city of Paris. Because we know that, districts is a very general topic, and the episode 1 was meant to be an overview. But of course, some of you, two of you, Jonas and Mehdi, a big shout out to them, they wanted to add the following, and I thought, it's worth mentioning indeed, so I'm gonna go ahead and mention them. So, on the 6th district, there are two neighborhoods called Saint-Germain-des-Prés and Odéon. They are very trendy for going out, a lot of luxurious shops, so they are worth mentioning, and a lot of universities over there as well, so it's dynamic, it's a dynamic neighborhood. The 7th district is home to Le Bon Marché, which is a department store. We are going to talk about it today in episode 2. And there's also something called Les Invalides, which is a monument. And we have a special episode for monuments where we're going to discuss Les Invalides. So stay tuned on that episode. In the 13th district, we have to mention that it's home to the Chinese neighborhood, and I don't want to really call it Chinatown because it's not really similar to what you can find in English-speaking countries and their Chinatowns. But it is a Chinese neighborhood. Now, if I move to the 16th district, where Mehdi actually lives, he kind of yelled at me because I didn't really talk much about his district. He was disappointed. Sorry, not sorry, because... No, I'm kidding. Sorry. But he told me that it's the only district, this is a very fun fact, to have 2 postal codes. I mean... what and why? So it's actually in order to separate the rich people from the extremely rich people. This is very specific to the 16th. I also have to mention that there's something called Le Trocadéro in the 16th that offers an amazing view on the Eiffel Tower. I really recommend that place. It's very touristic, obviously, but it's the only place pretty much in Paris where you can have this view on the Eiffel Tower. And from the Trocadéro, you can continue by walking down the stairs and go towards the Eiffel Tower and visit it. The Pont de l'Alma is also something to mention on the 16th, and it's a bridge that became internationally known as the location where Lady Diana had her car accident. So it's there. Last but not least, in the 16th, we also have to mention l'Avenue Montaigne, which is home to the most luxurious shops. But there's the difference between, for example, l'Avenue Montaigne and the Champs-Élysées, which is that the Avenue Montaigne is home to local creators, local luxurious shops from local creators. This is what makes it special. This is everything about the 16th, Mehdi. I think we covered it. Now, concerning the 19th, there is something called the Bassin de la Villette, which is the largest artificial lake in Paris. And there are a lot of activities happening around the docks, from cultural to sports to nightlife to pretty much everything. So I really recommend that. Anyway, please stop me because we cannot go on and on about districts. It's going to be endless. So let's focus now on episode 2, which is about department stores. And I would like to welcome, without further ado, the one and only Florian as a guest. Bonjour. How are you today?
Hey, Patrick. I'm doing well. Thanks. And you?
I'm doing very well. This is episode 2 from the season. Episode 2 is called Paris Luxueuse, or Luxurious Paris for the English speakers, even though I think that our English speakers will end up speaking French by the end of this podcast, most probably. This episode is mainly going to discuss department stores. As you guys all know, Paris is known for various stuff, from which the department stores are also a big part of it. And when we say department stores in English, in French there is another wording that we use. Florian, do you know this wording, obviously?
Yes, Grand Magasin.
Les grands magasins. That translates literally to the big stores. I don't know why they just said Grand Magasin. What does it mean? Was it related to the size?
Yes, I think because at the beginning there were small shop and now there are big departments as we have as of today.
So it's literally translates to the big stores. So why are we doing this episode now, which is in January 25th? It's because in France, we are really, the stores are on sale. It's like the winter sales. They last around a month.
Yes.
So we thought that it could be useful for you guys to get some information on the department stores. So my first question would be, when did the department stores vibe in Paris really start?
They started in the middle of the 19th century with the Bon Marché. It was the first big department stores of Paris, created by Aristide Bourriquot and his woman. And yes, he created, I think, the consumer society as we know as of today, because he introduced some new elements like the free entrance, the fixed price. So it was really new at Paris at this time.
Okay. Oh, the concept wasn't existing before that, right? Yeah. Okay. So from my understanding, the Bon Marché started a concept that wasn't existing before. This concept was centered around what exactly? What made it special?
I think first we can say it's woman-centric. It's all around the woman. It transforms the woman. She can she can come to the department store. She can do shopping. She can have time outside her house. So it was really new at this time, but it's still true as of today to have a great time outside the house.
Okay, so before that they were just staying at home and doing nothing.
Yes, or they can go outside, but with a chaperon.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah, we have to keep in mind that it was in the 18th century, right?
Yeah.
So it's the mentality back then was not really what we have today. So okay, so if I understand well, the department stores had a role in society, and progressing in society, changing the mindsets of equality between men and women, or at least giving the women things or opportunities that they didn't have before. So okay, they played a role in the social life of the Paris scene. Not only social, but also when it comes to the law. I think at that time the law was done in a way that the stores couldn't really diversify what they were really allowed to sell. But with the department stores, things have changed, right?
Yes, as a law change, some guys decided to create a new place where you can find everything for the woman. So it was also really new at this time to have this kind of place.
Okay, so one place where you can buy various items that are not from the same family of products, let's say, knowing that before that it was really like you go to a hat store and you buy hats, you go to the wallet store and you buy wallets. So it was a way to diversify, to offer to the clients, and I think especially women, from what I understand, a place where they can really shop various products at the same time. It's kind of a revolution then. It was associated with the industry revolution back then, right? And as we were discussing before this episode, you were saying that some people associate this industry revolution with the commerce revolution. Who did that? Who did say that?
Yes, I heard it in the podcast of Franck Ferrand. It is true that with industrial revolution came finally the consumer societies, as we know as of today. So all the elements of this consumer society were created at this time. So everything that we know as of today is not new. It came from the middle of the 19th century.
Okay. This was a bit of history because I think that you're a very, by the way, Florian is an expert in history. This is what you do, right? You're following some studies right now. Yeah. So now that we've talked about history, let's talk about the present.
Yes.
I think that the image similarities between the Parisian department stores and the Parisian women are very, as we mentioned, today are still very existent. So we explained why from history, but now we can still see that today. When you go to inside a department store, the first thing that you see a huge number of stores that are really targeting women, the Parisian women, but not only the Parisian women, because we will talk about who visit the stores in the episodes. But yes, it is very women-centric still as of today. This is what we notice. It really helps the women embrace the Parisian vibe, and it's the origin of the myth of the Parisian woman, right?
Yes, we can say they dress the Parisian woman, and when we think the Parisian woman, we think department stores in France. And that's
true. Okay. Also, internationally, worldwide, when we look at how Paris and France is marketed for tourism, I feel like it's very feminine. Everything that they use to market the city and to market the country, they use it in a feminine way. Like they market fashion, they market luxury brands. The luxury brands, the French brands that are known anyway internationally, are mainly brands coming from either luxury or fashion. And it's very feminine oriented. And these department stores really serve this image. So when the tourists come to the department stores and come to Paris, they go to the department stores and they really find what they've seen in TV spots or TV commercials promoting Paris. So the department stores are a very solid part of the Parisian scene. It's very interesting also to understand where these department stores are located in Paris, because it kind of reflects also who goes there. So first of all, let us, because we haven't done it yet in the episode, and I think it's very important to tell you to list the different department stores that exist in Paris. So the department stores that are known in Paris are Bon Marché, Printemps, Les Galeries Lafayette, Samaritaine, and BHV, that stands for Bazar de l'Hôtel de Ville. To go quicker, we just say BHV. So the Bon Marché, it's on the southern bank of the Seine River. When we say again southern bank, it's on the left side from where the water flows. The Printemps and the Galeries Lafayette are located approximately around the same area, which is around the Opera House, right? In which district? It's the 9th. Yes. Right, if I'm not mistaken. So around the Opera House. Samaritaine, it's located in the Rivoli
Street. Yes.
Rivoli Street. It's
close to the Seine side.
This is where you like to go most, right?
And my mother was working there.
Oh, really?
So a long time ago, yes.
Okay. So you know the place very well. The BHV is also on the Rivoli Avenue, but is really close to the City Hall. It's in the 4th district, the BHV, Bazar de l'Hôtel de Ville. And it's my preferred location. If we see where are they located, left bank, which is a bit upscale, the Opera House, where a lot of tourists go, next to the Opera House, on the Rivoli Avenue, whether it's close to the Seine River, close to Châtelet, or whether it's close to the City Hall with the BHV or the Samaritaine, they are not too far from each other. The locations are really either very touristic, or they are where Parisians who are a bit more, let's say, rich live. So does it make sense for you? So how do you feel like they were distributed? Was it the real purpose of their distribution in terms of localization?
I think they are close to their main customers when they were founded. So I think it makes sense. Yeah,
so their distribution didn't really depend on transportation at first. It really depended on the location where their clientele exists, and this is why they are located where they are located. So now that we've discussed the places, let's talk about, we've entered. Now that, they are nice from the outside, they are located here and there. Okay, let's go inside. So we went inside these department stores, and I don't think that you can get the same vibe from each and every one of them. So it's very interesting to understand that there are department stores. They are all located in Paris, but each and every one of them offers a different vibe. So the Bon Marché, for example, what do you think about it?
I think it's more old bourgeoisie, more discreet, maybe more close what we call as of today a quiet luxury. Mm-hmm. Maybe a quiet luxury.
Yeah. That's what do you mean by quiet luxury?
Because it's more discreet. It's not like Galeries Lafayette or Printemps.
It's true that it's one of the department stores that we hear about the less, right? Mm. Okay, les Galeries Lafayette.
Yes, what can we say? They are popular.
Yeah. Extremely popular.
Touristic, mythic. Mm-hmm. Also, when you go inside, you have the fabulous dome of Galeries Lafayette. So it's an experience to go inside.
Yeah, it's very beautiful. By the way, it's really extravagant. You know, mm-hmm. It's when you come to Paris, you will definitely hear someone telling you about, oh, look what the Lafayette have done here and there on different events. So it's not discreet at all in comparison with the Bon Marché, but it's really enjoyable.
Yeah, but maybe that also was the idea to give experience to the customer at the beginning of when they created the department stores. When you arrived, you have to have your eyes full of
stars.
Yes,
your eyes full of stars. Yeah, so it's made on purpose. So it's part of their marketing strategy, let's say. Okay, so what about the Printemps?
Regarding the Printemps, I think it's a bit more luxurious, but maybe less charming than Galeries Lafayette. Maybe due to the change of owners.
Yeah, they changed owners some years ago. Yeah, I feel like it's like probably like 7 or 8 years ago from what I remember. And yes, I agree with you. I feel like since then it's even if it's more luxurious, but it's not the luxurious Paris kind mm-hmm. of luxurious. It's not overwhelming when it comes to culture or architecture or the Parisian vibe. It's just luxurious, like mm-hmm. a plain luxurious department store. Mainly, probably, we can compare it to luxurious department stores in the Gulf countries, where it's really very luxurious, but you don't feel like there is this European historical vibe in it. Yes. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. Then we have the Samaritaine.
Yes. Oh, I like it very much because he recently reopened.
Yes, right.
After several years of works, and I think it's very luxurious, mm-hmm. and same times, you know that we love our history, our monuments in mm-hmm. France. So they modernize the building, mm-hmm. The front of the building, but at the same time they keep the historical elements. So I think they found it's a good balance between modernity and history.
Cool. I love it also personally very much. I feel like it's the closest to the vibe of the city, of the Parisian luxury. It's, as you said, it's a really very beautiful balance between history and modernity. Let's see how it will get old, because since mm-hmm. it started, it reopened recently, I'm curious to see how it's going to, live and get old. Last but not least, Le Bazar de l'Hôtel de Ville, or BHV. So what do you think about it when it comes to the vibe?
When I'm in the BHV, I ask myself, it's really belonging to the great department stores of Paris.
There was a question mark. When we prepared this episode, we were like, do we put the BHV in it or not? Because it was a question whether it belongs or not. What made us put it again in the programming?
Definitively, when we are inside, we can see the decoration. It's definitively part of the department store of Paris.
Yes, sure. You get inside and you feel like you are in a department store. Obviously, you're not just in any regular store. So definitely they do have their place in this list, even if I feel like they are still down to earth in comparison with the rest. But yeah, they are still very luxurious. I feel like they also sell a lot of different stuff that other department stores do not sell for everyday life. They have like a place where you can buy stuff for handiwork.
Yes, indeed. When you arrived with the metro to the BHV, it's the first things that you can see in the department store. So you can ask yourself, is it a Grand Magasin as the others?
Or not, yeah. I agree with you. It could have been kind of shocking or surprising, let's say, to see that kind of product being sold. But this what makes it down to earth, and I kind of like it because it, rich people also are allowed to buy stuff for the do-it-yourself kind of. They don't always have to hire external people to do some reparations in their apartments. So I feel like it's nice. I like it. I like the BHV. Okay, so one very important question is, what makes the charm of these department stores today in comparison with a modern mall?
I think it's for the global experience you can have in this place, because you will find different kind of luxury brands. You will find ideas of gift, and of course you visit a landmark.
It combines all three of them. You don't just go there in order to buy something. You can go there to buy something, obviously, but a lot of people actually go there to just walk around, enjoy the store, enjoy the beautiness of the store, the decoration, especially during Christmas. It became a landmark, so some people just go there to visit. And obviously some other people go there to find ideas, and obviously it targets the luxury brands. So if we want to summarize, these stores cannot be detached from the Parisian scene at all while visiting. I mean, when you visit Paris, it's an essential stop. Tourists from all over the world, especially from Asia, let's say it, they love to go there. And I can understand why. The thing is that even Parisians like to go there, whether to buy stuff or not. They also enjoy going there to spend some time, to visit the inside and the outside. And obviously the tourists as well, because it's like probably for the tourists, it's the way to live the Paris fantasy to the fullest. Okay, so this marks the end of episode 2, Paris Luxurious. Thank you very much, Florian, for being with us today.
Thank you, Patrick.
Will you come back?
Yes, of course, with pleasure.
I hope so. You are programmed already in some of the episodes, so you'll be coming back. Okay, so that was the end of episode 2, Paris Luxurious, or Paris Luxueuse. But this is the beginning of your mission to subscribe to the podcast and like the episodes on the platform you're listening from, whether it's Anghami, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, Deezer, Spotify, and YouTube. And yes, you're right, Deezer and YouTube are new comparing to 2 weeks ago because they have been added into the list later on. And you can also log into my website, patricksayeg.com/patbankscasts. So yeah, the link has changed as well, so this is the one that you have to use starting from now, and you'll have all the information over there that you need. Also, please send me some feedback, whether you agreed or not on what we said, and some feedback on the podcast itself. It will be a pleasure to read your comments. See you in 2 weeks, Pengies!